Precipitations and Culture Presentation by Brianna Pearson. Precipitations and Culture Presentation by Brianna Pearson. What is web-based social cognition? Web-based is self-regulated learning from the social cognitive perspective, which emphasizes the interactions among personal, behavioral, and environmental influences. And that was Lynn. As you can see in this pyramid, it determines human behavior, and then off to the side at the top you have cognitive factors, also called personal factors. It's the knowledge, expectations, and attitudes. And off to the left you have environmental factors, social norms, access and community, influence on others, ability to change own environment. And then off to the right is behavioral factors, skills, practice, and self-efficiency. How culture relates to our perceptions of others and ourselves. We all see the world through a cultural lens, so it's what we want to see. In America, we give handshakes, or we have different facial expressions. As Julian was saying in the presentation, we have this picture right here, and he gave a similar example. This can be either happy or mad. We just don't know which one is which. Some people, when they're happy, they are smiling. Sometimes when people are mad, they are smiling. They're still smiling. It's just how we see the world through a cultural lens. Each culture is very different, and it varies through each culture. Do they vary based on culture? Well, yes, they do. According to Julian, he lives in Norway and people don't talk to each other right away. But in Canada, where he was from, he was also saying that Canadian people, they do talk to people right away. They're very friendly, but that is not the case in Norway. And when you move to a different country, you have to have comfort. Confront, you believe that your behaviors are the right behaviors, and then you can complain. You will live in segregation in society, and then you have adapt, observing and learning. And right now I'm in the confront of the whole situation of living in Louisiana currently. It's still a very cultural shock living in Louisiana versus living in Colorado. And I believe in Colorado, there's a lot of beautiful hiking trails, and then you come to Louisiana and there's not a whole lot of that. So I'm dealing with that right now, and I do complain a lot, and you have to just adapt to the situation, which I'm trying to do. I mean, I'm stuck here now for a year, I believe. So we have to adapt, and that's by observing and learning and making new friends and knowing that it'll get better when I adapt and I start learning and observing the Louisiana culture. So let's compare the two, America, and then we have a Mexico. So American is called the melting pot. There's so many food choices. It has like a diversity of every type of food that you can think of. A lot of Americans participate in what is called small talk, where you make conversation with strangers or acquaintances about non-controversial topics such as the weather, sports, or popular television shows. And then Americans greet each other by a handshake. In Mexico, they celebrate Day of the Dead, which America does not. Humor is central in Mexican culture. Handshakes and looking someone in the eye is the most common greeting in Mexico. If you are very close to someone, they also greet each other by kissing one on the cheek. And unlike the US, Mexico celebrates Christmas season, and that lasts until January. What are some things that surprise me about the culture? Mexico culture, it always shocks me. I've been to Mexico and I did not know that they celebrated Christmas all the way until January, and I think that's pretty awesome. I also think it's very awesome that they celebrate Day of the Dead. I think it's pretty cool that they all get together and celebrate that time, although I know in America we do not do that because we don't bel there's so much diversity in America and not everyone believes in just that type of those type of things. And has my impression changed on this research? No, I've always liked Mexican culture. I'm actually Hispanic, so I just keep digging for more and more and more to learn about Mexico. Although I'm not Mexican, I think it's pretty awesome that there's such unique culture, like such a unique culture, and we shouldn't be judging because God says do not judge or you too will be judged. So I think the research was pretty awesome and getting to learn new things on Mexico.